today. Glad you are all here. I hope you all had a relaxing and refreshing and invigorating Thanksgiving holiday. Thank you for being here. I do want to remind everybody, as usual, that these calls are recorded and they are live streamed. They are intended by members of the public, including the media. I will ask that that we take a moment and recognize my friend and colleague, Justice George Carley, who we lost over the Thanksgiving break. Many of y'all have had the opportunity to get to know him. I've had the privilege of working with him and got to know him as a friend, know his heart and know his love for the state, know his love for the judiciary, and know his love for the law. I would consider it a personal favor if you would just join me and my colleagues on this court in a brief moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Clanton, will you take us through the roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Presiding Justice David Namias.
Here.
Chief Judge Chris McFadden.
Here.
Vice Chief Brian Rickman.
Here.
Judge Walter Davis. President of the Council of Superior Court Judges, Brian Amaro. Is Judge Amaro able to join us? Chief Judge Arthur Smith sitting in for Judge Paget.
Here.
Judge Jeffrey Kite.
I'm here.
Chief Judge Craig Ernest sitting in for Judge Melanie Cross.
Here.
Judge James Sizemore.
Here.
Chief Judge Asha Jackson.
I'm here.
Chief Judge Chris Brasher.
Here.
Judge Fletcher Sams.
I'm here.
Judge Van Pelt.
Here.
Chief Judge Sarah Wall. I believe Judge Wall's here.
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you, Judge. Chief Judge Jeffrey Bagley.
Here.
Judge Jim Blanchard.
Here.
President of the Council of State Court Judges, Wes Taylor.
I'm here.
President-elect Al Long.
Here.
President of the Juvenile Court Council, Lisa Jones.
I'm here.
President-elect Greg Price.
Present.
President of the Probate Court Judges Council, President Kelly Wolk. Judge Wolk. President-elect Thomas Lakes.
Here.
President of the Magistrate Court Judges Council, Chief Judge TJ Hudson.
I'm here, Mrs. C.
Thank you. Judge Quinn Casper.
I'm here.
Municipal Court Judges Council President, Chief Judge Willie Weaver.
I'm present.
Chief Judge Lori Duff.
Present.
There. Thank you, Judge Duff. And President of the State Bar of Georgia, Don Jones.
Here.
Chief, that completes the roll, and we're ready for the approval of minutes.
Yes, and I like the way you said that because I know you want me to make sure that I approve both sets of minutes. You have the minutes from the October 26th meeting and our November 9th session before you, and we need to have both of those to be considered. So if there's a motion to approve, I'll entertain that now.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Judge. Okay, I think Judge Casper moved and Judge Weaver seconded. Anybody opposed to approving those minutes as written? All right, thank you. Those will stand approved. Brief comments and a brief update for what we have for this meeting. I don't intend to keep you long. Any updates that you have specific to the pandemic and emergency procedures and operating procedures that you're operating on, we'd love to hear from you as we go around. Judge Wall, I think it'd be great if you wouldn't mind sharing what you're doing in your court as well when we get around to just going through the classes of court. Two big updates as we work towards our next order that will be issued in early December. we mentioned in our last call the desire to release the suspension of the 90-day rule on indictments and bonds, the bond requirement. We are continuing to do the work necessary to make strong and accurate decision on what needs to happen in that regard. It's going to take some data gathering to make sure we measure rightly. There's backlogs that have been built up, and we are trying to make sure that we strike the right balance between making sure that these cases are presented in a timely manner, but we want to make sure that the courts can actually get to it as well. So we're continuing to do the math on that. We probably will signal in our next order that that is where we're going to go, maybe in the next order or shortly thereafter. But that's still very much on the forefront, and that's really the only thing that I think you will see different in our next order, and that is just a signal that we will anticipate releasing the hold on the 90-day legislative provision. The second thing that we will emphasize, though, is something that we've mentioned before, but it stands to bear repeating, given the numbers that we're seeing statewide and nationwide. There is a new DPH report that shows the level of COVID activity across the state. And as you might have suspected, it does signal that there are hot spots throughout the state. I need to emphasize that nothing that we are doing in terms of opening up court proceedings and moving towards grand jury proceedings and moving towards jury trial proceedings is irreversible. That means that not only can I, if necessary, issue a statewide judicial emergency order to roll back some of what we've been doing, but you more particularly and more importantly have the authority to impose greater restrictions as necessary if your court is in the target of a hot spot. And if you need to do anything to protect the safety of your court participants and your courthouse employees and staff, please feel free to do what is necessary as the situation dictates in your local communities. Our previous orders have made clear that you have the authority to do that. Sometimes that gets buried in all the pages in the document, but we want to make sure that that message is clear. And that's really the only two things that I think I needed to emphasize with you during this time. PJ, do you have anything that needs to be emphasized or mentioned to the body?
No, I think you covered it, Chief. A reminder, the Legislative Committee will be reviewing the proposed legislation on statutory speedy trial extensions in a meeting Wednesday, and that'll probably come before the main Judicial Council at the next full meeting.
Yes, thank you for mentioning that. Okay, let's go around real quick then. Chief Judge McFadden on the Court of Appeals.
Nothing to report.
I didn't see Judge Davis on the call. I assume he's still not on the call.
Hey, Chief, I joined.
Okay, anything, Judge Davis?
No, nothing to report. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Judge Amaro is not on the call, but I know Judge Art Smith is here and Judge Wall is here.
Just a short report. Toombs County in the Middle Circuit and Richmond County in the Augusta Circuit are conducting jury trials in person today, and they are also being live streamed.
Thank you. Judge Walls, you want to add to that?
In the 8th district, our district court administrator, Bob Natico, has been working with LSNL Integrated. We have 27 counties in our district, and we were able to convince 23 of our 27 counties to go with this new system that's been installed. I would encourage everyone to go to the 8th district website, and there is a link on the right side of the webpage for live streaming. And if you'll go to the Middle Circuit, Toombs County, you can click on that link and see they are doing voir dire today for 2 or 3 trials. It is very clear, and we have been very pleased with the programs and the equipment that we are using now. They're going to start a rape trial in Toombs County. Judge Reeves is tomorrow, and they're selecting the 2 juries, I believe, today. It was interesting this morning with Judge Reeves. They had some jury members who were hearing impaired. So we have that technology to tie into the system. They were working with interpreters well with the rape trial for jury selection. And we're very pleased with that. It's worked well. Our courtrooms in rural Georgia are pretty small, so it's impossible for us to try felony cases and sit a jury in the box. So what we are doing is using this technology, and we will sit our jurors in the gallery, and then we have a smaller courtroom that we will be streaming to for overflow or for spectators, as well as the live streaming. So if I would encourage everyone to take a look at it. It's, as I said, it's very clear. And if anyone has any questions about the technology, Bob Natico, our DCA, can certainly answer those questions. But we've got that in 23 of our 27 counties, and we're looking forward to utilizing this equipment and going forward with trials.
Okay, thank you, Judge Wallen. What's the name of the vendor?
S&L Integrated.
All right, thank you very much. Judge Taylor with the state court judges.
No, Chief Justice, no report.
Thank you, Judge Jones with the juvenile court judges.
No report, thank you.
Thank you, Judge Lakes with the probate court judges.
No report. Thank you.
Judge Weaver, municipal.
No report, Chief.
Madam President Dawn Jones.
No further update at this time, Chief.
Ms. Clanton, AOC.
I'm going to defer to the Magistrate Court Judges Council. I think Judge Hudson's on the phone.
No report.
Okay. Did I skip somebody? I must have skipped you, Judge Hudson. I'm sorry. Did you have anything, Ms. Clanton?
I do. The AOC remains fully functional. And for those of you that are working with the COVID task force, Samantha Wolf will begin to assist us on a contract basis with the task force and legislative matters. So if you may remember Samantha from her time with CJCC. She was their communications and external affairs director. And she's going to be a great team with Cheryl as Christopher transfers to his next position with the Cobb Superior Court. That's all, Chief.
Okay, so everybody knows about Christopher's next move to the Cobb Superior Court. He's going to be the court administrator out there. We're going to be sorry to see him go, but he has earned the right to advance in his career, despite my misgivings. I've tried to urge Cynthia not to encourage the personal and professional development of her staff. She refuses to abide by that. But Christopher, we wish you all the best, and thank you greatly for what you've done for us. And we know that you're going to do a good job for the folks in Cobb County. All right, Council of Accountability Court Judges, Judge Gosselin or Mr. Becker.
Good afternoon, Chief Justice. We have nothing to report. Thank you.
Ms. Johnson with the Commission on Dispute Resolution.
Thank you. We do not have anything to report.
Mr. Holloman, the Council Superior Court Clerks.
Nothing to report, Chief.
All right, Miss Carlise Greer.
Hi, good afternoon, Chief. Just one quick update. I want to thank you for joining our COE on December 17th. That's all we have to report today.
All right, thank you. Ms. Robin Rooks with the Council of Court Administrators. Ms. Rooks, Mr. Ashworth, ICJE.
Thank you, Chief Justice. We have nothing to report. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And Mr. Boring, JQC.
Nothing to report, Chief Justice.
All right. If there's no other business, the meeting that we typically would have scheduled on the 7th of December, I do not believe we will need to have that. We have a regular scheduled meeting on the 11th. I believe we can utilize that meeting for anything that is COVID related, and that will be our full-blown general session meeting on the 11th via Zoom. And if nothing else, we will see everybody then. Until then, you all be safe. Judge Van Pelt, it's good to see you. All right, y'all be good. Thank y'all.
Thank you.